And I just was always fascinated with horror films and fantasy and everything. And I was into art and always drawing from the time I was a little kid. My mom was an artist, so I kind of got into art, and she really nurtured that. You know, it was always the late night horror host shows, and it was always, you know, the classic monster movies, plus a lot of, you know, 70s genre films. And I graduated high school in 1983, and right after that, I worked a summer raising money and moved to LA to get into the movie business. It was early 80s, a heyday of makeup effects. I was lucky enough to get in with a lot of other artists at that time, and we all learned from each other. My first few credits, you know, I were at John Beekler's. I would work on Troll and Reanimator and Eliminators and TerrorVision. While I was hitting all the different shops, I eventually hooked up and started working with Kevin Yeager, and we were doing 976 Evil and Seventh Sign and various other projects. Howard Gregg and I worked at Mark Sjostrom's together, and we started out, Mark had pulled in Evil Dead 2. We started working on that, and then we went into Phantasm 2 and Deep Star 6. We basically, you know, after working various shops and taking on the burden of supervising shows, we decided to do it together now and form our own company, which was K&B Effects Group, and we formed that in 1988. You know, after forming K&B, we were lucky enough to have hooked up with a lot of the great genre directors at the time, from Sam Raimi to Wes Craven to Tobe Hooper, Lawrence Bender, eventually Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, John Carpenter. While at K&B, we did like 300-400 films and TV projects. I mean, we did everything from Dancing with Wolves and Misery to Army of Darkness to Spawn, The Faculty, John Carpenter's Vampires. I had a long relationship with John Carpenter, you know, so during those years, we established a relationship with filmmakers that continues to this day, and K&B continues to work with those filmmakers today, as I do here in Ohio, where I'm fucking decided to leave LA and do what? So in 1988, I wrote this treatment called From Dusk Till Dawn. It was a 25-page treatment, and I wanted to turn it into a screenplay and make my directing debut with it. Because I tried to get the movie going for like 10 years as a director, and eventually went, you know what, I just want to get this movie made. And Robert Rodriguez was interested in making the movie. Quentin came back on and wanted to be involved as a producer, and the whole thing kind of took off from there. So part of the deal was Quentin said, yeah, I'll write the script, but you know, I have this movie, Reservoir Dogs, I'm trying to get off the ground, and would you guys do the effects in it? And so over the years, then we, you know, collaborated on a lot of movies together. From Dusk Till Dawn, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Four Rooms, Kill Bill. Right after From Dusk Till Dawn got into production, I got an opportunity to direct a film called The Demolitionist, which was I had a low budget, like revenge Miss 45 movie. So my next film was Wishmaster, and this was my first studio picture. Wishmaster was a box office hit. We opened it as a #1 horror film when it came out. 2003, I moved back to Ohio and formed my own company, Precinct 13 Entertainment and Creature Core. I spent 20 years in LA, and I'm kind of grounded in the Midwest, so I decided to move my family and everything back here, start my own company, and raise the funds to do my first, you know, independent feature. I really wanted to learn kind of the filmmaking process from the ground up. So I bought an old bowling alley and I converted it into a film production facility, and I used to bowl here when I was a kid, so it's kind of nostalgic. And I don't know, I came in here, I put a haunted attraction on the first year we were here at this building. It just, something struck me with this building, and I decided to buy it and renovate it and turn it into the studio that we have here. A lot of the crew that works here, you know, they're from the Midwest, or they grew up in the Midwest, and some of them worked in Hollywood for years and years and then decided to move their families back here. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love working back here in Ohio, and now we have a studio in Michigan. Some of our early P-13 Creature Core projects have been Hostel, Devil's Rejects, Buried Alive, the Horror Chronicles movies, Living Hell, Undead or Alive, Deadly Impact, which is a film I directed, The Spirit, Hiss, The Rage. We just did a project called Gin. We just finished Hostel 3. So we've been keeping really busy, and we've been doing video productions, music videos. We have our Creature Core web series. We also have our haunted attraction line, which we launched last year at Trans World. I work with an amazing crew here at Creature Core. A lot of the people here worked in the industry for 20, 25 years in LA, but they're Midwest people, and they've come back, and they're, you know, we have this great relationship here, and everybody, it's like a big family, even though we fight all the time and everybody gets in arguments or whatever. And we just kind of like to create, whether it's original artwork or our creature creations or film projects or music videos or directing films. We just want to, we need a creative outlet, and Creature Core is our creative outlet.